Have you ever committed to a low buy or no buy challenge? I have been so keen to try this and document it, so I thought I would bring you along to show you how we managed to keep our spending low for the month of February and how we set it up so that it could be realistic for us. Sharing this with you publicly is also so that I can have motivation throughout the month to stick to the plan. You can be the little voice holding me accountable as I document this journey throughout the month with everything that we land up spending our money on. We know that we have necessities to cover, but we are trying to be more mindful about the excess spending outside of surviving. I thankfully don't have any major spending pitfalls, but I do like to spend money and I do like nice things. So if I can really ruminate on a purchase a little bit longer to really think about whether I need it or not, it's not a bad idea to bring this challenge into my life and my husband's life, because we generally say yes to most extras. Even if we come out of this by saving 500 euros for the month, I will be really pleased, because that money put aside now in investments will be some kind of gain in our future to be able to retire early, which is our goal. Normally I only share my spending on this channel, but for this challenge I'm going to be sharing all of our spending, both mine and my husband's, for the whole month of February. It's the end of January and I thought I would kick off this video now so that I could set up my parameters for the month of February, so that my husband and I are aware of what they are and what we are working towards. I have set 4 general rules. One is that we will only have one opportunity to go out to eat or to get a takeout, and that's where it ends. When buying groceries, I want to make sure that non-necessities are staying in the shop and out of our trolley. So I really want to be mindful when I'm shopping and not just add in things that we don't really need. And this isn't a bad thing, because actually it's going to force me to focus on what we really need to be eating and what we really don't need to be eating. Very often convenience food is more expensive, and I have been cooking from scratch just about every day since we've moved here. It's something that I just do and I'm quite happy to do it. So focusing on healthy food is also something that I will just keep at the back of my mind while we're shopping. I want to try and keep our guilt-free category to a minimum this month. And these are things like buying things towards working on our hobbies, books, things for the house, clothing, going out for coffee, those kinds of things that make life fun. We are going to restrict ourselves this month, but that doesn't mean we're not going to enjoy our time. We're going to find other ways of doing fun things. And the fourth one is only topping up on things that have run out. So I'm not going to go looking for bargains on anything this month. I'm only going to replace toothpaste, for example, when it runs out. And this includes things like skincare, toiletries, beauty products, anything like that. I'm not going to be buying anything that I don't actually need at the time. And so those are the things we're going to try not to spend money on, but the things that we will be spending money on are essentials like rent, water, electricity, groceries, social security, putting away money for taxes, subscriptions, our gym membership, anything related to the car like toll fees, petrol, parking, and anything health related, going to the doctor or getting any medicine we need. There is one thing that I will not budge on, is opportunities to do things with friends. So if something comes up and we get invited to do something, or we want to do something and invite our friends, then that is going to be on the yes list and not on the no list, because I really feel like opportunities and experiences with friends are more important than saving money, obviously within reason, but we're not talking about break the bank activities here. I mentioned earlier that we won't not have any fun this month. We do plan to do things that maybe we don't normally have time for, or things that maybe we don't reach for when we are busy doing other things. Given that this month is normally a very cold, wet month, I have added some things to my no spend activities list that I think we can achieve if we find ourselves being bored. For starters, I want to take any opportunity we can to go for a walk outside when the sun is out, because February is usually very, very wet month in Portugal where we live. I'm also going to focus on the hobbies that I have the things for in the house, and for me that is reading one of the many books on my TBR and making candles, because I made sure that I had all my supplies late last year already. So I'm set up for those two hobbies. I also have some really beautiful puzzles that my husband has gifted me over the last few years that I haven't had a chance to do, and winter's the perfect time to be puzzling. I can also spend some more time in the kitchen, maybe baking or working on recipes that take a little bit longer than usual, and winter is the best time to make cozy, yummy food, so I'm looking forward to that. I might even do some decluttering. I like to keep things organized, but inevitably things get messy, so I might spend some time tidying up some drawers or shelves or a cupboard. Anything like that will keep me occupied when I feel like I want to be doing something that is going to require spending money. And you might be wondering, why an entire month? Would I not want to spend any excess money? Why choose the whole month of February? I have thought about doing a no spend week challenge or a low spend week challenge, but to be completely honest, I feel like a week goes by so quickly. And while I do think about what I spend in normal months, I want for this topic to really be top of mind for me. And whenever we think about spending money, I want my husband and I to really think carefully about whether or not we need that said thing. Doing a low spend month also feels like a challenge to me. It's almost like gamifying life, and I love doing that. I have for a long time been kind of obsessed about tracking my steps every day and turn it into a game, because my fitness watch tells me that it is, and I want to use this opportunity to make this into a game and see how far we can go with how much we can save. And this isn't saying that I won't ever do a no spend week challenge or a low spend week challenge. It's just that I wanted to start with a whole month. Today is the 8th of Feb, and it is the first check-in that I'm going to do with you about what we spent in our first week. I've got my notes over here. I'm just going to refer to everything we spent from the 1st to the 7th of Feb. I think we're off to a pretty good start. On the 2nd of Feb, we spent €20.70 on dental health insurance. On the 3rd of Feb, we had 3 different grocery shops for some reason. I'm pretty sure we didn't do groceries 3 times in one day, but it's obviously just the way it came off on the bank. It was €11.43, €21.05, and €66.97. On the 4th of February, we had bank charges coming off. It was 18 cents, €4.50, 3 cents, and 73 cents. We had a subscription come off on the 4th as well for €24.48. On the 6th of February, we had a doctor's appointment come off for €2.80, and our gym fees came off €9.60 times 2, and this brings us to a total of €172.07 for the first week of February. I'm excited to see what happens in the week that comes up. Today is the 15th of Feb, and it is our halfway mark of our low buy challenge. So today I'm going to be talking about the week of the 8th to the 14th of Feb. This week it definitely started to feel way more real that we were doing a low buy challenge. I think the further you go into this, the more friction there is, and the more you realize how easy it is to just spend money. So we did find ourselves checking in with each other and saying, no, can't spend that because it's a low buy month. There were some things that did pop up this week, specifically that we didn't worry about the fact that we were spending money because it was Valentine's Day. Kyle, my husband, bought me these beautiful tulips behind me. We went to the market on Saturday and had a really lovely walk there and enjoyed walking, browsing the market and grabbing some pastries, and yeah, it was just a really lovely morning. So I wouldn't have changed that plan just because we were doing a low buy challenge. We were also invited to a comedy night this week, which also happened to be on Saturday. So on Saturday evening we went to see the show, and that also cost something because we had to buy tickets, and it was again something that I wasn't going to turn down. I'm going to go through everything we spent this week, and again I'm referring to my notes over here. On the 10th of Feb, we bought groceries for €24.85. Again on the 10th, groceries for €12.73. And again, groceries for €38.75. I got my residency renewal, but I had to pick it up in person, and they charged me €29.20. We also had to drive all the way to Porto from where we live, which is about an hour away. We'll probably pay some toll fees for that as well. That was out of our control, so again, not too worried about it. On the 11th of Feb, groceries again for €8.65. Our internet and phone bill came off on the 11th of Feb. That was €73.39. 13th of Feb was groceries, €7.74. And groceries again on the 16th of Feb, €13.59. On Valentine's Day, we spent some cash, which didn't come out of our bank account because we had it already. We spent €30 on these flowers and €10 on the comedy show tickets. So this week's total was €248.90. And so far this month we have spent €420.97. Again, I'm really happy with this number so far for the month. Our biggest expense is our rent, and that we pay in either the third or fourth week, depending on when we get paid. But so far, having only spent €420, I'm really pleased with us. We've got 2 weeks to go, and I'm really hoping to see a positive result at the end of this. Hey everyone, today is the 22nd of Feb, so we are doing our week 3 check-in on our low spend challenge. This week we're going to be going through the transactions that came off our account from the 15th to the 21st of Feb. This week we were invited to stay with our friends for a night. They did a trip up north, and we kind of live near where they were staying, so we joined them. It was an unexpected surprise to be able to join them, and we had a really lovely time catching up. We were also really lucky with the weather. We have had the most incredible amount of rain in January and February this year, and we had the most amazing weather while we were there, so we were able to go for a beautiful walk outside on the property we're staying on, and it was just really nice to be outside in nature since we live in the city. In terms of what we spent for this trip, we were asked to bring food for dinner and snacks. While we had every intention of paying towards the accommodation that they hired for the time that they were there, they insisted that we don't contribute. So I have decided that I'm going to invite my friend for a trip at some point in the next couple of months, and I will pay that bill. In terms of the bills or expenses that did come off our account this week, I am just going to read off my screen in front of me. We had health insurance for €415.96 come off on the 16th of Feb. 2 grocery runs on the 17th of Feb. One was €60.98 and the other was €10.60. We had both of our social security come off, and that was a total of €1,550.14. That came off on the 20th of Feb. Every 2 weeks we have our gym membership come off, and that came off on the 20th of Feb for €9.60 each. This brought us to a total of €2,056.88 for the week, and a total so far for the month, so that's 3 weeks, €2,477.85. Considering that we've managed to get through 3 weeks of the month with this amount of money is quite surprising. I can't really say anything felt sort of different this week. This month just seems to be flying. Even though it's a shorter month, I just feel like it's really going very quickly, and this challenge hasn't been a really difficult one for us. I think we've just been so busy with work and all sorts of other things in life going on that it hasn't really been annoying me or getting in my way or anything like that. And I can't say my husband has been really even talking about it, so it doesn't seem to have affected us terribly. I'm excited to see what the total for the month will be, and if we are hopefully going to be able to save something extra this month, I'll be really happy. Today is the 1st of March, so we are doing the final week spend for our February challenge. So I'm looking at the transactions that came off our bank statement from the 22nd to the 28th of Feb. This week was by far our biggest week in terms of spending. Some of our high bills came off last week, but most of our spending has happened this week for the month. I am reading off my screen over here. Let's jump into the 23rd of Feb. We started off with toll fees for €8.80. We paid our rent on the 24th of Feb, and that was €1,508.04. We had groceries come off on the 24th of Feb for €17.52. We had bank charges coming off on the 24th of Feb for 31 cents and a subscription for $9.99. We had groceries, 3 different groceries came off all on the 24th of Feb, €11.70, €36.23 and €32.74. A subscription also came off on the 24th of Feb for $2.99, and on the 25th of Feb we put away €3,500 into investments. On the 25th of Feb I had to go to a doctor's appointment. That was €15. On the 27th of Feb we had groceries for €26.25. I'm guessing because of the short month our water and electricity bill haven't come off yet. They will likely come off early in March, but for the sake of keeping this month whole, I decided to go and find our water bill, and that's going to be €40.17. And then our electricity bill, they haven't confirmed the amount yet, so I'm putting in an average of €120 for this month. I actually expect it to be more, but I have no idea because I know we used a lot more electricity in the last couple of weeks. So this week was a spend of €5,329.74. As I mentioned, this was definitely our biggest spending week for the month, our rent being our biggest bill. We also put a significant amount of money away into investments the day we were paid. My husband and I have a combined goal to invest €36,000 this year. And recently we have started talking about putting additional savings away for a deposit on a house, which we are hopefully going to purchase in the next couple of years. And that's not set in stone yet, but that's kind of what we're working towards. So we want to focus as much as we can on building up that savings. Our total for the month of February was €7,807.59. Considering that 45% of this amount is investment, means that our expenses were 55% of this amount. I feel really good about this ratio of spending versus investing or saving. If I compare our guilt-free spending for the month, this month compared to January, this month we spent €75, which was made up of our gym fees and subscriptions for other services. Last month we spent €753 in this category. That's almost a €680 difference. Clearly a big shift on how we decided to spend or save our money this month. I decided to go back into this specific category for last year's spending and have a look at what our average was. Our lowest month last year was €334 for a month in this category, so basically fun spending, and our highest was around €1,400, so it really does fluctuate. And that month of €1,400 was a month that we decided to buy some furniture, so that was a big purchase. But this is also the category where we obviously have choice to make better decisions or decisions that are practical for us at the time, but we have the room to be flexible or frugal. The other thing that I noticed compared to last month was that we dropped our grocery spend by €63. Even though February is a shorter month, I still feel like this is a win. This month our grocery bill was €402, and last year on average we were spending €550 a month, so that is a very big difference. I can confidently say that we spent €764 less than we did in January. And I mentioned earlier in the video, if we could save at least €500 this month, I'd be happy. So we exceeded this goal, and yeah, I couldn't be more pleased with our efforts. I know that February is a short month, but I'm honestly so surprised at how quickly this month went past us. We did manage to keep our low spend top of mind for the whole month. We still saw our friends, we socialized, we got outside, we did activities after work and on weekends. And I won't hide the fact that my husband and I really love to be at home and we have hobbies at home that keep us very happy. We also have hobbies that don't have massive upfront costs like expensive sporting gear or anything like that. So I know our lifestyle isn't everybody's kind of lifestyle, but I really didn't feel like we were missing out on anything this month. It went by so quickly and we were so busy just living life and doing normal things and working every day. Yeah, it just went by so fast, and I really didn't feel like we were held back by the decision to not go and spend a whole lot of money this month. I also feel like we are both at the point in our lives that we aren't mindlessly consuming all the time like we may have been in our younger years, and constantly just collecting stuff for our home like maybe we used to. We are also really very focused on our goals of retiring early and buying a house in the near future. So I think because those goals are so much closer than if we were in our 20s, we really are more focused on retiring early so that we can spend more quality time together instead of working until our last days. I really enjoyed this low buy challenge, and I can highly recommend you giving it a try. If it's something that you can even just get right for 1 or 2 weeks, I think that it's a really cool challenge to do. I realize that not everyone has the means to be able to save as much as maybe we do, and we are really lucky to be able to do that. But a low buy challenge really is parameters that you set up for yourself that are meaningful to you and your money values for your family. So I can highly recommend sitting down and deciding what those parameters are and giving it a try. And if you do or ever have tried one of these challenges, please leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear how you did. And if you enjoyed this content, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. It'll help reach more interested people like you, and I'll see you in the next video.